Hello guys, and welcome to today's video tutorial where I'll be showing you how I usually make my round logos. So we'll start off by making it 300 300. The reason I don't make it 164 pixels and 164 pixels down here is because I want it to be bigger so I can get more details in. So yeah, I start off by creating a new layer on top of the background, and I go down to elliptical marquee tool and I just click it. I want this circle to be perfect, and to make it perfect you just have to hold down shift while dragging it and creating the circle like this. It's perfect on all the sides and there's no reason not to do so. So now I want to fill it, and I just right click and I click fill. Let's just take the color black because I'll change the color once we get the basics down. Yeah. So right now we just have the circle, and what we want to do now is we want to copy it up here. You can do it by just clicking Ctrl plus J, or you can just click duplicate layer. Now we want to go into transform mode, and you just have to click Ctrl T to get into this mode. This is a really good mode because you can decide a lot of things about the pictures that you're creating. For example, these four boxes, they are key in when you make these kind of logos. These two boxes, they decide where in this picture your object is going to be placed. So for example, if you want something to be placed in the middle, you can take the original size of the picture. This picture is 300 pixels, both in the height and in the length, and you just divide those two numbers by 2. So 300 divided by 2 is 150. So now it's in this the middle of the picture. We of course want to do it with both of these layers, because otherwise it will just be messed up. So the reason I duplicated this layer was because I want to make it a bit smaller and then change the color. So we have it's like a stroke, but I think it's better to duplicate layers and just make them smaller, because you can get some more details in on the logos instead of just having the stroke. So you want to go down to these two boxes, and you want to make it the number a small number. I'll just click 55 here, 95. Fuck. So these two boxes, they decide how big the object is going to be. So if for example, if I write 110 here, it's going to be bigger, but if I write 90, it's going to be smaller. So I'll just write 95, 95. So let's change the color on this one. Let's just take it white for now, and we'll change it up later. So now we want to duplicate the layer again. Let's just take duplicate layer, and we want to go into transform mode again. Ctrl plus T. We want it to be a bit smaller this time, so let's write 70 and 70 here, and just click enter. Now we want the color to disappear, so we have some differences. We can't just have them both be black or white, because it will we won't be able to see it. So we just unclick this color overlay, and now we can see the difference. We want to do this again, and we just duplicate it one more time, and we go into Ctrl T, transform mode, and we just make it a bit smaller. Yeah, 95 is fine. So then we just tag or click this color overlay setting again, and now we have the basics of this logo. We have the outer circle, we have the inner circle. We want to get some fun colors onto this logo now, and we want to play around with the effects so we can make a cool logo. Let's see. Yeah, I want to use the color blue in this video because it's my favorite color and it's easy. So we want to go into the gradient overlay and we want to click on this, and we get into this, we get this box, and you just take a black color on this side, well, a dark color on this side, and a more light color on this side, like this. See, you can already see the difference here. Now we copy these settings onto this one, onto the layer over this layer. So we just hold down Alt while we drag it over here. Then we go into blending options. You can just double click on this layer to get into this mode. More, and then you go into the gradient overlay and you click reverse. This will make it into kind of 3D logo, and you can see how it looks like it's going down here, and yeah, it's just a nice effect and it's really easy to make. Then we copy this layer, well, these effects again, hold down Alt while dragging it, and we double tap or just go into blending options again, and we repeat. We click on reverse and we click enter. So now we have the last box, and I want to use the blending option again, but I want to try another gradient overlay. The one I want to try here is this one, radial. I want to make the black. I want it to be outside in the far, so we can make a cool effect. On scale, you put it to the max, and you can go to angle, and you can hold on shift while just clicking up, and it will be more light. So right now we have some pretty decent effects, but we can't really use these effects for much. We need to try to get something more onto this logo, because right now it's pretty boring. And this is where some of the other effects comes in handy. For example, inner shadow, which is a really good tool for making effects. For example, you can make, if you have a text or something, you can make it 3D like this. Distance will decide how far away from the object your shadow is going to be. If you have it on 0, you can just get a cool effect that you just have right onto the object. I usually don't touch choke. I usually just have these two at 0, and then on size I put it up a bit. Let's have it on 20. Then we want to go up here and we want to play around with the blend mode. If you have it on normal, it's just going to be the color you picked, but I want it to blend in, so I'm going to take overlay, which will make your color blend in with the layer underneath it. I'll pass this a bit too much. So yeah, now it looks like we have a shadow, so it looks like this middle thing is going out. We want the text now, so that we can actually make this logo for someone, for a club. So let's take this marquee, let's take ellipse tool, make sure you have these settings, or else you'll just fill it in with color, or it won't really work. We want to take this because we want to create a circle that your text can follow like a path. So we hold down Shift and we just make the circle. So right now we can't really use it, but this is where the Control T or transform mode comes in handy again. So you remember when we wrote 150 and 150 here when we put it into the circle? Well, into the middle of the picture. We want to do that as well. So we just click 150 and 150. So now this circle follows the other circles. So we want it to be a bit smaller so that the text won't be up here, but like here in the middle as well. So this is where we use these two boxes. I hold down Shift and I just click my arrows and I try to get it close to the bottom of this circle. Like, you don't want to touch this circle, but you want it to be a bit over, so it's kind of close to it. You usually want these two to be the exact same, or else it will be messed up. So yeah, click enter. Yeah, and then you just take the text and you just click here and you just write the text. So let's write, I'll just find someone, fuck that, YouTube tutorial. So yeah, let's make it a bit bigger because it has to fill it out. So yeah, we want the text to fit in, so let's take white and let's use one of these options. You can, if you have like, if you want your text to fit in and blend in, you can also take the screen option here on blend modes, or you can just take overlay. I'll probably take soft light, that's usually good. Yeah, I'll just take this one. So now we have the basic logo. So let's make a glass effect. Just go make a new layer and go down and pick the pen tool, and then you make a line here and here, and you just hold down Shift and you try to make a circle. Then you right click and you click fill path, and then you just take a white color. Now we have this white thing that is just ruining the picture, but if you go up to opacity and you take it down and you go over here to blending options again and you click on overlay, you will get a nice glass effect. Let's see. So yeah, then you want to get rid of the colors that you have outside this the logo. Like if I put the opacity up, you can see it. We have a white color right here, and we want to get rid of everything that's outside this circle, the logo. And it's really easy to do actually. You just go down to the outer circles layer, which is this first one, and you click on Magic Wand tool, and you just mark this area outside the logo. And then you go back to the layer with the glass effect, and you delete. So it's gone now. You have it here. So yeah. And then you just save it. So right now the picture's a bit too big for the website that I'm using, where the logos have to be 164 x 164. But it's 300 at the moment, so I'll have to to change it up. So you just go into image size in image, this one, and you change the size. That's it. So yeah.